A brief history of Earth. Over the past few billion years, Earth has faced countless challenges: massive asteroid impacts, planetary collisions, global freezes, and waves of bizarre life forms. It's honestly amazing that our little blue planet has made it this far. But if we want to dive into Earth's wild past, we'll need to rewind all the way to the beginning. 4.5 billion years ago, roughly 4.5 billion years ago, the solar system began to form from a thick cloud of space dust and gas. As gravity pulled this cloud into a spinning disk, things started to heat up. Eventually, the pressure and temperature became so intense that hydrogen atoms began fusing into helium. This was the birth of our sun. Around the same time, clumps of matter in this swirling disk started coming together. These would eventually become planets and moons. In the outer, cooler regions, these clumps were icy and gassy. Closer to the sun, rocky planets like Earth and Mars began to take shape. Early Earth was a volatile place, filled with erupting volcanoes that released gases like methane, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen sulfide. This formed Earth's first atmosphere. The planet was also constantly hit by space debris. One particularly massive object, the size of Mars, slammed into Earth. This impact ejected a huge amount of debris into space, and that debris eventually formed our moon, 3.8 billion years ago. At first, Earth was too hot for liquid water, but around 3.8 billion years ago, it finally cooled down enough for steam to turn into liquid water. Oceans formed, covering much of the planet and setting the stage for life. Just 100 million years later, microscopic life emerged in these oceans. The first organisms were tiny and simple, but they laid the groundwork for all future life. 3.3 billion years ago, Earth didn't stay a water world forever. Pieces of land, called cratons, started pushing up through the oceans. Eventually, a small supercontinent known as Valbra formed, though it was likely smaller than today's Australia. 2.4 billion years ago, then came a major leap. Some bacteria evolved the ability to use sunlight to make energy. These cyanobacteria were the first organisms to perform photosynthesis, releasing oxygen as a byproduct. This began transforming Earth's atmosphere, but this shift wasn't without consequences. As carbon dioxide levels dropped, the planet cooled dramatically, plunging Earth into its first major ice age, 1.1 billion years ago. Meanwhile, the continents were still moving. They collided and formed a new supercontinent called Rodinia, which may have been the largest ever. Life continued evolving and becoming more complex. Later, Rodinia broke apart and another supercontinent, Pangea, formed 540 to 485 million years ago. Then came a huge burst of life, the Cambrian explosion. Creatures with shells, exoskeletons, and other body armor appeared, including the strange-looking trilobites. But the good times didn't last. Around 440 million years ago, dramatic climate shifts triggered Earth's first mass extinction, wiping out most of the life that had flourished. Between 420 and 350 million years ago, trees appeared and animals began moving onto land. 250 million years ago, eventually, all land masses united into a single giant supercontinent, Pangea. But this period also saw the Great Dying, the worst extinction event in Earth's history. Around 90% of all species vanished due to extreme volcanic activity and climate changes. But from this devastation came new life, dinosaurs, which appeared around 240 million years ago. Over the next 150 million years, they dominated the Earth. You could have seen the enormous Argentinosaurus or the fearsome T-Rex roaming the land. During this time, Pangea also began breaking into the continents we know today. 66 million years ago, then disaster struck again. A massive asteroid hit what is now Mexico. The impact threw up so much debris that it blocked sunlight, dramatically changing the climate and causing the dinosaurs to go extinct. This opened the door for mammals to rise. 6 million years ago, fast forward to about 6 million years ago, the first human ancestors, like Sahelanthropus, appeared. They still likely walked on all fours. By 4 million years ago, some of them were walking upright. A million years later, they began using tools. Around 800,000 years ago, early humans discovered how to control fire, changing everything. Over time, their brains evolved quickly. They learned how to communicate, cooperate, and shape their environment in new ways. Between 40,000 and 15,000 years ago, all other human species disappeared, leaving only Homo sapiens. 10,000 years ago to now. About 10,000 years ago, humans began farming. This allowed them to settle down, build communities, and develop civilizations. Then just 250 years ago, we entered the Industrial Revolution, a period of major change. Machines, cities, and new technologies discoveries reshaped society. Human populations skyrocketed, hitting 1 billion by 1804, 2 billion by 1927, and over 8 billion today. But all this growth comes with a price. Climate change is now one of the biggest threats facing humanity and Earth. Rising temperatures, melting ice, and mass extinctions could put the planet and us at serious risk if we don't act. If you found this video fascinating, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more incredible content.